Hey guys, it is Mitchell, and today I'm just going to run you through the new Google Cam 7, the interface, some of the changes that we can see. I'm going to do a separate follow-up video, just kind of doing like an image sample review of it, but right now I just want to show you guys the new interface. If you want to download this, I'll have a link to my website where I'll have a couple different versions of this that you can download. Go ahead, click through on my website. I'll have a little brief write-up on it, and you guys can go ahead and download the different versions for your Redmi K20 Pro. Just something that I want to kind of establish right off the bat, because I'm not sure if this will work for everyone, is that I am running MIUI 11.1 by Xiaomi EU. The version is 9.10.7. This is kind of a custom ROM. If you guys want me to explain what Xiaomi EU is and why I think it is far and away the best custom ROM, let me know in the comment section down below. But let's just jump right in to the first Google camera that I have. The second Google camera APK is almost identical to this, but with a couple subtle tweaks. Now, as you can see, Google has given us a new interface. Now, this is kind of buggy, and things like the lens blur do occasionally crash depending on the XML and depending upon the settings that you're running. But here you can see with the Google Lens suggestion, we've got the gestures, double tap action to zoom, volume key, photo resolution, maximum quality, medium quality, lens blur quality. Now for the advanced, we have the movement icon, McFly, which allows you to swipe from the left or to the right to capture what's in the viewfinder. And these are kind of all custom things that are enabled in this specific APK. So they're not always going to be the same. Maximum brightness, RAW plus DNG control, HEVC video codec, quick settings, open default mode, interface theme, binary file, or the libraries. And this is where you can kind of tweak stuff depending upon how deep in the Google camera wormhole you want to go. HDR plus in portrait mode, disable zoom where you would like to save these to. Night sight options, including the night mode hint, and then some experimental settings. Use face retouching, anti-banding mode, fixed tint, slow motion disabling. Those are all kind of some of the custom features that we have. And then all kinds of stuff if you want to go ahead and tweak the highlight saturation, the shadow saturation, and that's going to affect how the camera shoots the HDR. Now to go into the Nightside mode, Nightside currently is on this specific camera mode, it is specifically only for the main rear camera. One of the cool things that I like about this is that in this specific mod, you can set your focus to infinity. So if you want to do long exposure night photography, you set it to infinity. Also, something that's helpful is the timer. So if you wanted to go ahead and shoot starscapes and you had a tripod for your camera, 3-second timer, set the focus to infinity, and it should give you the best experience every time. Now, portrait mode. Okay, we got the natural face retouching. I'm not a big fan necessarily of face retouching. We don't have the full body portrait mode that we would have on the stock MIUI camera app, and that could be specific only to this camera. We'll take a look at that some more. And then we go into the specific, like the full camera app. Motion disabled because I have the HDR enhanced on. Standard 3x4 or 4x3 mode versus 16:9, which the sensor on it is a 3x4 sensor. So the 16:9 is really just cutting off parts of it. Now video, we are limited to 4K 30 frames per second, no 60 frames per second. There is EIS, and let's just take a look at how the EIS would work. Let's make sure that we have this obviously enabled. Video stabilization, okay. And we'll go ahead and put this video sample into the video and cut it in for you guys. I don't think the stabilization is working that well. I think in most cases, stock MIUI is going to give you better video performance, even though there's no 60 frames a second and stabilization. Now the more settings, photosphere, time-lapse, Google Lens. And that's just with this specific version of the GCam mod. We'll take you into this other one because this one is where things get a little more interesting. This is one that's developed by Yearnix. Shout out to him. And as you can see, we have the wide angle, the tele, right, which is actually working with the telephoto camera, HDR enhanced, timer, flash, standard. Let's show you some of the settings in here. RAW plus JPEG control, HEVC, show buttons. Now what happens if we turn off the show buttons? So you have to enable show buttons to be able to use the different cameras. But they work. They all work. Night sight. Now one thing that is pretty cool about the night sight is that right now we actually have night sight for the wide. So here, I'll take a picture so you guys can see. Here is night sight with the wide angle. And as you guys can see, we have a ton of dynamic range. Definitely a little bit more dynamic range in the corners, but as you guys can see, all of the cameras work. Now is video working? So right now, at least with the wide, it's not working. If we go to the main camera, video does work. EIS on this camera mod definitely seems to work a little bit better. More settings, time-lapse. Now, can we shoot a wide angle time-lapse? Oh, and that to me is amazing. Shooting wide angle time-lapse is absolutely, that's my thing. It's not that stable right now, but we do have it, and it does seem to work pretty well. This isn't anything more than just a brief run through of the apps. If you guys have questions, go ahead and hit my Twitter with those questions, and I will be posting links of where you can download this on my website, and I'll have a link to my website in the description down below. I'm gonna have to drive out of the city to see if I can do any nighttime star photography or anything like that. It's pretty hard where I live right now, but I will be doing a follow-up video where I have sample images. I just wanted to show you guys the stability and what we have right now in the Google Camera app. This is Google Camera 7.0 for the Redmi K20 Pro.